The moment the lights dimmed inside the Dolby Theatre in Hollywood on the night of the 2026 Academy Awards, nobody in that room or watching from home could have predicted what was about to unfold. This was not a ceremony content with playing it safe. From the first joke off the host's lips to the final envelope torn open under the glare of 1,000 cameras, the 98th Oscars delivered something rarer than a Best Picture winner. Genuine, unscripted electricity. Conan O'Brien returned to the Dolby Theatre stage for his second consecutive year as host, and he arrived not with caution, but with a sharpened blade. His opening monologue tore through Hollywood's inner circle with the precision of someone who had been saving material all year. Timothée Chalamet was the first casualty of the night, targeted for his widely circulated remark that no one cares anymore about ballet or opera. O'Brien stood at the podium, deadpan and deliberate, and told the audience, "Security is extremely tight tonight. I'm told there are concerns about attacks from both the opera and ballet communities." The laugh that followed rolled through the orchestra section and up into the balcony. Leonardo DiCaprio's well-worn meme legacy got its own fresh dissection, while Michael B. Jordan's dual performance in Sinners became the spine of one of the night's strangest running gags. O'Brien insisting, with increasing commitment, that every seat filler in the house had been quietly replaced by Jordan himself. It was the kind of hosting that does not simply warm up a room but sets the entire temperature for the evening. Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another dominated the night in terms of raw trophy count, taking home 6 Academy Awards including Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Director. Anderson approached the podium without the weight of gravitas that such a sweep might warrant. Instead, he offered something disarming, a moment of admitted vulnerability, wrapped inside dry wit. "There will always be some doubt in your heart that you deserve it," he told the room, "but there is no question in the pleasure of having it." The line was brief. It was honest. It sat with the audience in a way that polished speeches rarely do. The most emotionally charged moment of the night arrived when presenter Adrian Brody announced Michael B. Jordan as the Best Actor winner for his performance in Sinners. The standing ovation inside the Dolby Theatre began before Jordan had even risen from his seat. By the time he reached the microphone, the actor was visibly working to collect himself. He spoke directly, without a prepared script guiding every word, acknowledging the weight of standing among performers he had long considered giants. "To be amongst those giants, my ancestors, my heroes," he said, his voice catching mid-sentence. "Thank you for believing in me." He then turned outward, speaking not only to the industry but to the wider audience that had followed his career for years. "I'm going to keep stepping up," he said. "I'm going to keep being the best version of myself I can be." In an evening full of well-rehearsed grace, that speech cut through precisely because it felt unrehearsed. Sinners itself proved to be one of the defining films of the ceremony, collecting 4 awards in total. Ryan Coogler took home Best Original Screenplay, a recognition that felt both overdue and perfectly timed. In the acting categories, the night balanced the weight of career-defining wins against moments of unexpected lightness. Jessie Buckley completed a full award season sweep by claiming Best Actress for Hamnet, a victory that confirmed what critics had argued since the film's release, that she belongs in the conversation among the most compelling performers working today. Amy Madigan, winning Best Supporting Actress for Weapons, delivered a speech that will be quoted well into next year's ceremony. "It's been 40 years, she said, holding the golden statuette at eye level. "You know what's different? This little gold guy." The simplicity of the line produced one of the biggest eruptions of laughter the auditorium had seen all night. Sean Penn claimed his 3rd Oscar with a supporting actor win, though his absence from the ceremony did not go unnoticed. Presenter Kieran Culkin acknowledged the empty seat with characteristic bluntness, suggesting Penn either had a scheduling conflict or, as Culkin phrased it, with a slight pause, didn't want to be here. The remark landed with enough edge to keep speculation alive well past the broadcast's end. Then came the moment that stopped the ceremony cold. In the live-action short category, the presenter opened the envelope, looked up at the audience with an expression that seemed to ask for patience, and delivered 3 words that immediately scrambled the room. "It's a tie. A beat past. I'm not joking," the presenter added. The confusion that rippled through the Dolby Theatre was genuine and contagious. For a few suspended seconds, the Oscars surrendered their composure entirely, and in that surrender became more entertaining than any planned segment could have managed. Beyond the comedy and the competitive drama, the 2026 ceremony quietly set records that will be written into Academy history. Cassandra Koulakundis became the first ever winner in the newly recognized casting category, a milestone that acknowledged a profession long considered essential yet rarely formally honored. Autumn Durald Arkapaw made history as the first woman to win the Academy Award for Cinematography. Recognized for her work on Sinners, K-pop Demon Hunters swept both Best Animated Feature and Best Original Song. And during the acceptance speech for the latter, the film's producer stepped forward and addressed the camera directly. For those of you who look like me, I'm sorry it took this long to see us in a movie like this. But it's here now. The words were spare. The weight behind them was not. The ceremony's In Memoriam segment, led by Billy Crystal, Barbara Streisand, and Rachel McAdams, brought the room's energy to a deliberate stillness. It served as a necessary counterweight, a reminder that the industry being celebrated on nights like this is built on the contributions of people no longer present to receive recognition. Elsewhere, the evening made generous room for nostalgia. The cast of Bridesmaids reunited for a comedic segment that drew genuine delight from an audience that had spent the previous 2 hours cycling through nearly every other emotion. Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor appeared together on stage to a wave of applause that broke before either had spoken a word. And Anna Wintour, appearing alongside Anne Hathaway in a segment that needed no explanation for anyone who had seen The Devil Wears Prada, was asked about Hathaway's dress. "And the nominees are," she said. It was a callback so precisely timed and perfectly iced that it may have been the sharpest moment of the entire broadcast. By the time the final award was presented and the Dolby Theatre's lights began to rise, the 2026 Academy Awards had been many things at once: funny and solemn, chaotic and composed, backward-looking and sharply focused on a future the industry is still figuring out how to build. It honored the films that had moved audiences over the past year and made space for the people making them, in front of the camera and behind it, to be seen in full. It was an evening that demonstrated, for anyone who had begun to doubt it, that the Oscars are still capable of surprise. Now we want to hear from you. Which moment from the 2026 Academy Awards hit you hardest? And do you think Michael B. Jordan's win was long overdue? Drop your take in the comments below. And if you want more breakdowns like this one, hit like and subscribe so you never miss what happens next.